All right, one of the first things that you want to do is that you want to make sure that you're at the right place, and you can get all that information by the board that is always out front. So in this case, I'm writing down the builder's name, the address, the subdivision, and the lot number. And all that information goes at the top of our graph, and you can get all that information from this part of the lot right here. So this is the house that we're going to be graphing, and we're just interested in the footprint. And I always start in the front left corner. That's just where I always start. You can always start at the front right corner, but always pick a point and always start from there. And using the graph paper that we have, pen, and a measuring wheel, and we're ready to graph. I'm going to start at the front left corner. Always set your measuring wheel to 0. All right, that's 2 feet. Now, the first thing that you want to do is, how is this house going to fit on this property? Well, what I have done is I've kind of looked down one side and I've looked across the front, and it seems that if I hold the paper this way, this house is going to fit on this graph this way. Each one of these squares is 1 foot. A lot of people are doing it differently, but we need to standardize it, so each square is 1 foot. So this first measurement is 2 feet. So I draw a line, 2 squares, and I write the number 2 next to it. I set my measuring tape back to 0. Most double garage doors, without me even looking at it, are 16 feet. At 16 feet. So I leave a 16-foot space. The next wall, 2 feet. The next wall, 9 feet. Again, setting it to 0 again each time. Across the back wall there, it's 4 feet. And I draw a line 4 feet. Set my to 0, and this one is 6 feet. Draw a line 6 feet. Set it to 0. 2 feet. Draw a line 2 feet. Set it to 0. Draw a line 3 feet. Mark the number 3 on the graph. Set it to 0. "12 feet. Draw a line 12 feet. Write 12 on the graph. And we'll continue on down the side. All right, I'm done with the front. I'm going to start on the side. I set my measuring wheel to 0. Watching out for items that are in your way. You want to go on a relatively smooth line so you get an accurate measurement. And this is 60 feet. So I draw a line 60 feet. And write the number 60, and then we continue around the side. All right, I've turned the corner, and I'm going to measure the back of the structure now. And that's 14. So I draw a line 14 feet, write the number 14 down, set my measuring wheel to 0, measure this wall. It's 8. Draw a line 8 squares long. Put the number 8 there. Set my measuring wheel to 0. This is 12. Draw a line 12 spaces long. Put the number 12 there. Set my measuring wheel to 0. This is 9. Write a line, make a line 9 squares long. And now I'm standing on this right here. I continue on and I write the word pad for this area here. So I know that there's a pad here on the diagram that needs to be on this as well. So I'm going to continue on. Set my measuring wheel to 0. Measure this last wall on the back. It's 12. I make a line 12 spaces long, write the number 12, and then we're going to do the other side. And we're on the last side of the house. I set my measuring wheel to 0, and we measure down this side. Now when you encounter an obstacle in your way, like there is a pile of dirt here, lift up your measuring wheel, step off to the side, and still continue measuring in a straight line. This is 60, actually 61. Make a line 61 squares long. Write the number 61. And we have the outside graft. One other item you need to put on the graph is whether or not there's an expansion joint inside the garage. And in this case there is. So we need to make sure that we indicate the expansion joint that is all the way around on the inside of the garage. Expansion joint runs along there. It dips into the back and runs along to there. So that needs to be indicated on our graph. That's the basics of graphing. So now that we have the outline of the structure on the piece of paper, what we can do now is that we can get into the details for the boric air slab pre-treatment. And we're going to be measuring wood stud walls, both interior, exterior, and the sheathing, and we'll get into that next week.